Nice.
Good call. Good call. Yeah. It was probably his entrance music did it. So that was the upset of the tournament, you could say. The next was, and then the other ones were they fell according. It was For Whom the Bell Tolls against Fade to Black, and For Whom the Bell Tolls won. Then One against Nothing Else Matters, and won, and Seek and Destroy over Wherever I May Roam. So it's interesting that Enter Sandman won because it was from the Black Album, but then every other and the other polls, other songs from the Black Album would go up against an older song and they would lose. So I don't know. It must be something about Enter Sandman that people really like.
Yeah, like you said, it's a juggernaut. I mean, it was all over the place. It's been all over the place since it came out. I mean, I do particularly like the song. It's not my favorite, but I mean, I still think it's a damn good song.
And then so in the finals now, Enter Sandman's winning 38%. One has Enter Sandman has 35%. One has 28%. So looks like Enter Sandman might win the entire thing.
Damn Rivera.
Yeah, everything bad that happens belongs to the Yankees.
I'm fine with that.
They ruin baseball. They ruin Metallica polls. I mean, what else they ruin?
It's the Vontae Burfict of baseball.
Yeah.
Low blows all around.
Now, for the album one, I did a tournament of 8, and really, it was basically you have 5 albums that are considered strong, and then the others were not so much. But the big matchup of the first round was the Black Album versus Injustice for All, and Injustice for All ended up winning. So that was interesting. So your final 4 is Kill 'Em All, Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets, and Injustice for All. So let me go around, ask each one of you individually, what is of those 4 albums, what's your favorite? Let's start with Kyle.
It's actually pretty close. I have sort of them in tiers, but to me, between Ride the Lightning and Master of Puppets, they're both pretty tough to distinguish. I go with Master of Puppets personally. There's a couple songs that to me that really push it over the edge. I just feel like they were really finding their groove at that point. They weren't on Kill 'Em All. It seems really the thrash metal is really present. There's a certain element of progressiveness on certain songs. I think especially Four Horsemen. I think Cliff Burton's influence is really strong on that particular song. But I think his influence really grows on those next 2 albums. And I just think on Master of Puppets, they figured out the method finally. It's probably as close to perfection that they've ever come.
Mark, what do you think?
Oh, man, this is, I don't think not too many groups are going to have 4 choices that to me are so close. But I would probably, Master, I think, is to me just, I really like Injustice for All as well, but I think I'd give the nod to Master of Puppets. I think from just the beginning of the album to the end. I mean, all these you could probably listen to, first song all the way through the last song and not be disappointed. But I think just Master of Puppets for me is my favorite.
Brad, what do you think?
Well, my favorite's Ride the Lightning because I was more of a thrash metal guy anyway, and that was more of their speed metal album, and it was really good and it was really hard, and they established their sound a lot better. I think they did better with the vocals. It was a really good album with Fleming Rasmussen. It was there's their first album with him, and it was obviously just a very professional job. I mean, they went to Copenhagen to do it instead of some some hole in New Jersey they usually did most of their work in. And, I think it really, a guy that worked with Rainbow got to work with Metallica early, and it's just a great album for me.
So I'm looking at the lineup of the song list of both albums, and it's kind of like, it's basically the Metallica All-Star Game. Okay, here's what you have in Ride the Lightning. Fight Fire with Fire, Ride the Lightning, For Whom the Bell Tolls, Fade to Black, Trapped Under Ice, Escape, Creeping Death, Call of Cthulhu. Really, of those, I see Escape as the weak one, but that's a strong lineup.
Oh yeah.
Then Master of Puppets, you got Battery, Master of Puppets, The Thing That Should Not Be, Sanitarium, Disposable Heroes, Leper Messiah, Orion, Damage Incorporated. I'm not a fan of Damage Incorporated, but that's another. Yeah, I'm not. But that's another super strong lineup. It's like, I mean, just one great song after the other. So I mean, I can't choose. I guess I would go with Master, because to me Master is probably my favorite song. But man, I did not realize that each album only had 8 songs, which was interesting. But you're right. Dave Mustaine did get a credit on Ride the Lightning.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, and back to the Master of Puppets song. Yeah, Damage Incorporated, I was like, what the hell is that song about anyway?
I have no idea.
It's like, is it a group of guys who go around killing people? I mean, like the Four Horsemen, but only kind of dumbed down, you know?
It's like Four Horsemen light.
Yeah. That song needed an explanation or a comic book or something, you know? I need
behind the music on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Comic book, that sounds too much like Kiss.
Yeah.
Okay, so before I go, we need to review basically another thing we talked about was all the lessons we learned from Metallica songs. So for Master Puppets, you learn don't do drugs.
Or don't go to war.
Don't go to, well, what was it? Well, I think Disposable Heroes is don't go to war. I guess Sanitarium, don't go crazy. The Thing That Should Not Be, avoid the Loch Ness Monster. I'm not sure.
It's all about control. Don't let people have control over you.
Creeping Death.
With the...
Yeah. Creeping Death was about the Passover, right?
Yeah.
Fight Fire with Fire, I think, was don't have nuclear war. Blackened was another save the environment. For Whom the Bell Tolls was, what did we say? It was about the Spanish War, the book, the Hemingway book.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Fade to Black is, I guess, please kill yourself or don't kill yourself. I'm not sure.
I actually read somewhere that James wrote that when he was feeling not suicidal but depressed because some of their equipment got stolen, including an amp that his mom gave him just before she died. And it was like one of the last things he had connecting to her. So it was like at that moment he felt, sorry to depress you guys, but I guess he felt black at that moment and he just wanted to fade away out of that pain. So that's what it's about. But yeah, it does kind of seem like it is talking about suicide.
Interesting. All right.
That seems like a retconned explanation, though.
Yeah, really.
That could also be a good theory.
Spoilers told him to make that one.
It's like when the guy tells you that song, Stroke Me wasn't about, touching oneself. Yeah, right, pal.
What's next?
Stroking the piano keys, right?
Yeah, sure.
It's about your golf game.
I'm sure Eric will say the song Cocaine wasn't about cocaine.
Yeah, right.
It's about snow.
Yeah. Come on. Not everything is about something terrible. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, let's hope this actually recorded.
Yeah, right.
Kyle Senra, Mark Hagelauer, Brad Reyes, thank you so much. This was awesome.
Thanks, guys. It was fun.
Thanks for having me on, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, the League Championship Series are underway. With me to talk about it is from the Scorecrow, Johnnie Black and Bruce Cagle Jr. Guys, how you doing?
Great, Joey. Thanks for having us.
All right, let's get into it. Let's start with the National League. So, Brewers and Dodgers. Dodgers have taken a 3-2 lead. How do you think? Well, we were just talking before this, John, that maybe this hasn't gone exactly the way you predicted. But how do you think this series has gone so far?
Well, I think one of the biggest surprises, and Bruce and I talked about this earlier too. I mean, he liked the Dodgers going in. I like the Brewers, mainly because of their bullpen. I thought the Brewers had a good bullpen. We all know about Hader and Knebel and those guys, and I thought that was their strength. And in a short series where you have a couple days off in between, I thought they could definitely shut down the Dodgers, play matchups. You know, Craig Counsell's been pretty good this year with that. But the surprising part of it is the Dodgers bullpen has been even better. I mean, they've shut down the Brewers lineup with guys like Dylan Floro and Caleb Ferguson, guys you wouldn't necessarily expect to be putting up good numbers against the Brewers lineup that has the NL MVP in Yelich, Kane, Braun, Moustakas, Shaw, like all these guys. But they've been dominant. They've given up 3 earned runs in almost 22 innings over the course of these first 5 games. And whereas Milwaukee's bullpen, with the exception of Hader and Knebel, they haven't been good. Jeffers hasn't been good. Soria hasn't been good. So I think that's the major difference right here.
I look at it, I mean, I'm not too surprised it's going this way. I tweeted out yesterday I was a little surprised the Dodgers were in a must-win situation yesterday, but they pulled through. The reason I thought they were going to do that is because they have a deep team. I mean, their hitting's deep, their pitching's deep. Johnny's over here talking about their bullpen out. It's actually been better than Milwaukee's right now, it looks like. I mean, their bullpen's been solid, it looks like, from the beginning of this year. It was solid last year. I mean, yes, Kenley had his ups and downs this year, but his bad season is, I mean, that's what we're calling this. I mean, he still has a 3 ERA, a boatload of saves. He comes in and locks it down. Johnny was talking about the bullpens. I've been keeping track of runs scored past the 7th inning because that's when we really kind of want to really look at this Dodgers team attacking Milwaukee. They're grinding out the games, and in Game 1 they scored 4 runs past the 7th. Game 2 they scored 4 runs past the 7th. They got shut out Game 3. Game 4 we know was that crazy long 13-inning battle. They still came out ahead on that one. And then today they scored another 2 runs in the 7th. They're putting on runs late in the game when everyone's talking about Milwaukee with this dominant bullpen, but it's somewhat letting them down late in games right now, and they're not used to losing games past the 7th inning this year. What do you guys think about Manny Machado? Did you see his quote-unquote dirty play at first base yesterday? What do you guys think about that?
Well, I just saw that he got fined for it.
How much?
Let me see. I did see someone tweet, has anyone done more damage to their reputation in 24 hours more than Manny Machado? First of all, he says, that dirty play, and then second of all, he just admitted that he's not a hustle, quote unquote Johnny Hustle. He doesn't hustle every play. Like, are you kidding me?
That's
what do you
not
mean?
good going into free agency.
Yeah, exactly. As a free agent, it's like,
yeah. Didn't he say it's not his cup of tea? I mean, that's a crazy thing to say. By the way, I just saw it. He got fined $10,000.
Okay.
Yeah, I just saw it on a LA Times thing.
All right.
But yeah, it was definitely, I mean, you know what it was pointed out to me though? I was speaking to someone today, and what was pointed out also, and I'm not exonerating Machado for what he did to Hagelauer yesterday, dragging his left leg like that. He was running inside the baseline. He had room to step on first with his left foot rather than his right. It was obviously Machado being Machado, as we're saying. But Hagelauer also kind of stood back, caught the ball against his body, and kind of stood there.
He
And I
didn't
wonder.
move. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, like he didn't come